Well, we've got a lot of Batman stuff to talk about here. We got the DCU's Brave and the Bold to talk about, as well as, well, some bad information and possibly, I won't say bad, I'll say possibly bad information in regards to the Batman Part 2 and some unfortunate information that's kind of getting out there. So let's start with the Brave and the Bold. Now, honestly, this isn't really news. This is more along the lines of people being hopeful. Look, the idea of casting for who is going to play Batman in James Gunn's DCU has been kind of running rampant for quite some time. And I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Personally, I think Taron Egerton is the man for it. But I know a lot of people like this guy, Brandon Sklenar. I'm not even sure how to say his name properly. He's in 1923. He's done a whole bunch of other stuff. He's a good actor. He's not a bad actor. I'm not going to sit there and say that he's not right for the role. I'm sure he would do a fine job in it. But people are kind of like freaking out because of some things that he's been saying. Now, he's been on a press junket as of recently for the movie, what is it, like the Unicorn movie, whatever that movie recently that came out, Death of a Unicorn, I think it is. And people are freaking out because he's been asked questions like, hey, have you heard of all the rumors about people wanting you in the upcoming Batman movie or to play Batman? And a lot of the times he's like, have I heard it? Yeah, I've heard it. And he's joked around even. He's even said things like, no, I haven't heard it at all. There's a lot of stuff out there where he's just kind of having some fun himself. But this here is a little odd because this here says from DC Film News, Brandon Sklenar indicates DC Studios has called him about taking on the role of the DCU Batman. In quotes, it says, I think there's some awareness of me on some level, probably. I know they are a ways away from doing that. The little kid in me and the adult me is like, this is cool. To me, just that quote there doesn't seem like he got a call. I have kind of scoured some of the interviews and stuff that he's done. I don't see anywhere where he insinuates or states that he got a call. Maybe there's been some conversations. Maybe. Look, if I was James Gunn, this is a huge role. So you're going to want to get somebody who's interested in playing the role, obviously. But much like what happened with Superman, where many actors within that age range that they were looking at, which was like 25 to 35 or something like that, you're going to have the same thing go on for Batman. The characters, the actors, I should say, the actors within the age range that they're looking for Batman, any actor in that age range that has the look and feel and the desire to play Batman are going to throw their hat in the ring. They're going to be trying to do it. So that's no surprise that someone like Brandon here is like, yeah, I'd love to do it. I think it'd be cool. The kid in me, the adult in me, yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. Yeah, let's do it. I'm sure there's many others that are going to say the same thing or would say the same thing. This doesn't insinuate that he is it. That doesn't insinuate that he isn't going to be it. There's a lot of speculation that maybe there was a cameo or something filmed for the upcoming Superman movie. Maybe there's going to be something for the Lanterns, something like that. We don't know yet. We do know that a Batman movie is going to be coming in 2027. Whether that's going to be The Brave and the Bold, whether that's going to be the Batman Part 2, that's to be seen. But there is a Batman movie coming in 2027, so regardless, I think we're going to get a casting of some sort here within the next, I'd say, 6 to 12 months for who the Brave and the Bold's Batman or the DCU Batman is going to be, only because I think they need to really establish who the big players are within this universe. And obviously with Superman on the horizon coming just in 3 months, I think it's pretty safe to say that once that comes out, once it's the hit it's going to be, they're going to fast track Batman and they're going to need to get it cast and everything like that. So I think people need to take a step back, a little patience. I'm not saying that I'm against this. He's not my pick. Like I said, I love Taron Egerton. I think he'd be perfect for it. He might be starting to age out of it by the time they get cameras rolling, but I think he'd be perfect for it. Who knows if he even wants it? Who knows if James Gunn even wants him? Who knows what James Gunn is looking for? Maybe he's looking for somebody that's even big and brawly and bulkier. Maybe he wants somebody skinnier. Maybe he wants somebody in his 40s. Maybe he wants somebody in his early 20s. We don't know at this point. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out for sure. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think this means? What do you think this is leading to? The rumors, the speculation, it's going to run rampant until we get the official casting, obviously. It's exciting. It's fun to talk about, but I want to know what you had to say in the comments below. Now, the other Batman news, like I said, we got some stuff about the upcoming Batman Part 2. Well, it could be good, it could be bad. I touched on this a little bit with Sean over on the Watchtower the other night, and Robert Pattinson is apparently signing on, or thinking about signing on, for Dune Messiah, which is going to be the third or fourth Dune movie, whatever it is. I don't know. How many Dune movies are there? I don't even know, because they don't interest me. But the next Dune movie, Dune Messiah, he's signing on for. Or possibly signing on for. Now, the schedule for this is very interesting because DC Studios, Matt Reeves, everybody's been saying that Batman Part 2 is due to start filming at the end of this year, end of 2025. Batman Part 2 should start filming. Dune Messiah is due to start filming the end of the summer. So we're talking about maybe the fall. Safe bet September, October, probably somewhere around there. That's a pretty intense film. And rumor has it that he's going to play the villain or a villain in that movie. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be on there for the entire shoot. It could be a 6-month shoot for the entirety of the movie. He could only need to be there for 3 months, for 2 months, for 6 weeks, for 4 weeks. We don't know what his schedule would be for that movie. But a lot of people are getting kind of scared and frightened that if he's shooting Dune Messiah, what does that mean for the Batman Part 2? Will he be able to shoot Batman Part 2? Does this mean that the movie gets delayed yet again? Well, we don't know. I mean, let's be honest here. We haven't heard about his script being completed. That's not saying that his script isn't completed. A script could very well be completed and handed in to James Gunn already, and we just don't know about it. That's number one. Number two, well, the movie for the Batman Part 2 doesn't come out until October 2027. All right? Pre-production could start, in July, June, July, August for pre-production for that movie. That means film could be rolling December, January for that movie. That gives Pattinson ample time, ample opportunity to film Dune and then get on set for Batman. I have no worry that he'd be able to do both. There's no worries there at all. But here's the thing. Even if they pushed filming, say, to January or February, it's still plenty of time to get that movie filmed and post-production and out by October 2027. I don't think they're going to delay that movie again. The only thing that I could see them doing is canceling it, if they were going to do anything with it, but they're not. I don't see them canceling this movie. As much as you've heard me say probably in the past that I think that's what they should have done from the very beginning because of reasons of just needing to focus, simply focusing on the DCU, they're not going to. And I don't think they should at this point. I think it would be kind of really bad optics to cancel the Batman Part 2. It would be a bad idea. I don't think they're going to cancel it. But besides what's going on with Robert Pattinson, there's a lot of stuff that is starting to trickle out with what could possibly be going on with Matt Reeves and his family. Now, I've alluded to that the reason why Matt Reeves is taking so long to write this script is there's some things going on in his life. And I stopped there. And I'm going to continue stopping there. It's not for me to talk about. It's not for me to share. I've heard what could be going on in his life. It's not for me to share. Grace Randolph, on the other hand, decided to say a little more. She said a little more. And then John Campea apparently said some things on his show. I didn't hear what he said. I didn't listen to his show. I just saw the title for his show the other day. And then I guess a couple people on the live stream yesterday were saying, John Campea brought it up too. Here's the thing. It's not for me to say. It's not for John Campea. It's not for Grace Randolph to say. It's not for any of us to say. And you all know my feelings on scoopers, especially someone like Jeff Snyder. But he says it pretty well here. He says, the director does not owe you an explanation. The studio does not owe you an explanation. You are not owed an explanation. He says, and I regret even trying to explain an awful situation that isn't anyone else's business. Some things are more important than movies. Patience is a virtue. And he says it perfectly there, because there is no reason for anyone to know what's going on. There's no explanation needed. There's no reason for you to know what's going on. There's no reason. I shouldn't even know what's going on. But I do. But no one should know. There's no reason for anyone to know. Because it's personal. And it's his business to know. The studio doesn't need to tell you. No one needs to tell you. And here's the thing. If this situation is so impactful that it leads to the cancellation of the movie, I can assure you all that it's not because of James Gunn. It's not because of David Zaslav. It's not because of Peter Safran. And yes, there will be people that will try and spin it that way and say, oh, just like what they did with Zack Snyder. But it's not. Okay? I can assure you that. 100% I can assure you that. But I don't think it's going to come to that. I don't believe it will. We saw Matt Reeves just a couple months ago on a red carpet. He seemed very upbeat, very optimistic about getting production started by the end of the year, and I think that's going to happen. And you know, this whole thing around this movie is manufactured, you know, hate, disgruntledness, whatever you want to call it, because they want to find a reason to be mad at DC Studios and Warner Brothers. That's really what's going on here. It has nothing to do with, you know, being excited or anxious about the Batman Part 2. Because if people were anxious and excited and they respected Matt Reeves and Pattinson and everybody there, they would understand. They would sit back and say, you know what? I get it. I understand. Let the man cook. Let him do what he needs to do. Let him take care of his family. Let him do what he needs to do if there's something going on. But that's not what people are doing. People are simply getting upset and saying, oh, it's James Gunn's fault. It's Peter Safran's fault. I don't believe anything that's being said. I don't believe this. I don't believe that. I don't believe there's something going on. Nope, it's 100% James Gunn's fault. It's because he took Clayface from him and now he has to rewrite the script. It's because he did this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, everyone needs to just calm down. Calm down. As Jeff Snyder says, patience is a virtue. You calm down and just relax. The movie will come when it comes. Does that mean that it gets delayed? I don't think it'll get delayed again. I think there's plenty of time. They'll get to it. They'll make it. But just patience, guys. Patience. That's all I have to say. I think it'll come if it gets canceled. If it does. And I don't think it's going to come to that. But if it gets canceled, it gets canceled. Then all of you people who like the movie, you have an awesome Batman movie that you can enjoy. Plus a really cool Penguin series that you can enjoy. It's that simple. Not every movie needs to be built into a franchise and long trilogy or series of movies. Not every movie has to have that happen. It's not a hard concept. I mean, that's how movies were made back in the 90s, in the 80s. Like, not everything was built with the expectation that we would get multiple sequels and franchises built out of it. So just step back and realize things are bigger than movies. Things can be happening in people's lives that are more important than movies. And when you realize that and understand that, then you can understand, okay, maybe we just step back, let the Batman stuff happen as it does, and let's get excited about Superman. Let's discuss and theorize what's going to happen with the DCU, because that's what's exciting. That's what's exciting. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below with what's going on. I'd love to hear what you have to say about all of that. With all that said, guys, hit that like button, hit subscribe. With all that said, I'll catch you all later.